Okay, so the reason why Tucker Carlson got fired is still a mystery. We still don't know why it happened. The best explanation right now is the sexual assault allegations against him by his former producer. But there's a new report out of the New York Times that suggests that racist text messages that and behind the scenes hot mic moments from Carlson might have led to his firing. Now, first off, have you watched his show? Have Fox News execs watched his show? There's plenty of racism there. You do not need to dig and find that he's actually racist. You don't need to dig to find that he's sexist. It's on his show. So, the most likely explanation is that Rupert Murdoch broke up with his fiancée because she considered Tucker to be sent from God. So, I would totally bet that old Rupert is that petty and feared for, I don't know, his relationship that Tucker's gotten between them or something, or anyway, I would believe that much more for it was because of his racism. Because, yeah, he said some despicable things behind the scenes. But the fact that he was racist, well, he did that in front of the camera. That, like an example that the New York Times gave was 3 men jumping a protester, that isn't how white men fight. Because it's not a fair fight. Now, I don't think I have to tell you why that's horribly racist, but at the same time, he said worse things on his show, I'm sure. Yeah, I know he's done racist things. I don't know how that could be the problem. Now, being caught on a hot mic disparaging his viewers, calling them postmenopausal and things like that, that would actually be more believable that Rupert wants true believers, that he doesn't want hosts who make fun of the very audience he's appealing to, because that obviously means that all he is a grifter, which he is. And anybody who paid any attention to his career would know that that's what he is. He's a grifter. So, yeah, I just, this article keeps going on about all the problems he's had. But at the same time, nothing really, yeah. In one, Carlson is seen speaking to someone off screen, disparaging Fox's streaming service. Oh, yeah. He called Fox Nation unworkable and a piece of shit because it's just too complicated to work. Now, granted, Tucker has never been accused of being intelligent. I can't imagine he's that tech savvy. But the point of a streaming platform is to, or any website, is to be easy to use. So anybody can actually go on and use it. And we are talking about older people. Most of the Fox viewers, if not all, are older people. So them and technology don't get along very well, for the most part. There are plenty of elderly people who figure out technology just fine. But you have to assume that they don't. Because they didn't grow up with this. So this is not second nature to them. So why make a website that's hard to use? So if Tucker can't use it, then what are the chances that their target audience can figure it out? So I'm actually with him on that. But yeah, to hear him disparaging the viewers, disparaging their streaming service, and let's see. Oh, this is new. In another, he shares off-screen sexual banter with Piers Morgan before an interview, commenting to someone off-screen that a person's girlfriend was kind of yummy. He is also heard saying how he waits for his post-menopausal fans to make comments about his appearance. Oh boy, he's so freaking gross. Now, I'm not going to point out, like some people would probably point out at this point, that he's married, because I'm not going to shame anyone. I mean, I don't know what goes on in his marriage, whether it's an open relationship, whether they're having marital issues, so I'm not going to go there. I'm not going there at all. But most people see that wedding ring and, they're like, yeah, no, just ew. So that doesn't make him look good, especially considering that you would think his demographic cares about things like family values, even though the powers that be in the Republican Party obviously don't give a shit. But, the demographic kind of does, so that could do it. That Tucker is not the family values guy that they want. But then again, neither is Newt Gingrich, and they have him on as a contributor. So, let's see. He also is heard saying how now the fact that he thinks he's eye candy for old people. That's just, he obviously wishes that instead of being married and working, which I might add, he is independently wealthy. He does not need to work. But obviously his dream job is to be a boy toy. Because, what the hell? Seriously? You feel like you can continue to brainwash people into believing all sorts of horrible shit because you think that they just drool over you and they don't actually listen to what you're saying? And yet he's also claimed that, that people believe the crap that they spew at them. Which is it, Tucker? Do you think that women are just ruling over you, and maybe he thinks that it's just the men who believe everything he says, or it's just, he's a horrible person. Nobody is disputing that. What seems to be in dispute is what was the reason he got fired. And I just don't see any of these things being fireable. Well, maybe disparaging his viewers and the website. That might do it, but being racist? Being sexist? Yeah, he does that on his show. I don't see that as being particularly convincing. It's just, yeah, we know he's disgusting. But we've known that before. Jon Stewart went on to, what was that CNN program he was on? And already he was saying, stop destroying America. And this was while he was on CNN. This was before he went completely off the deep end at Fox. So it's not like people didn't know he was a horrible person to begin with. So I don't see why this is a revelation at all. Crossfire, that's the name of the show. Let's see if there's any other goodies that came out. So, someone responded with, "Part of me can't escape the idea that this is to demonstrate that Tucker was a liability." Again, he was racist and sexist on his show. How is finding out that it already came out that with the January 6th tapes, a lot of people were like, let's not do this and on air be a cheerleader for it. So why Tucker? Nobody else, everybody else was doing what he did, except for possibly disparaging the Fox Nation app, because technically they were disparaging the fans by secretly begging someone to stop January 6th, but go on air and be a cheerleader for it. I mean, that that is basically saying we do not care about our viewers. So basically, just because Tucker verbalized the disdain he had for the fans is not a lot different. Let's see if there's any other goodies. Okay, then they talk about the fight. So yeah, it's just I just don't see these texts being the reason, because I'm sure that, I mean, maybe it's because he's the most prominent host. Maybe he had more material to work with, but I can't imagine that Maria Bartiromo or Jeanine Pirro or Laura Ingraham or Sean Hannity don't harbor these same feelings based on their texts from January 6th, their texts about Sidney Powell and Rudy Giuliani. I don't see how what they did is any lesser than what Tucker did, except Tucker seems to be more prominent at the moment. But I don't see him being so much worse. This is the kind of people that Fox News attracts. So I just don't see, and all this has done is I've heard rumors that Fox's ratings are down, and that that some people are moving over to like Newsmax, which I don't know how, because then we go back to the online thing, because they're not on a lot of televisions. So I don't know how they're getting Newsmax. I mean, maybe it's of those that are tech savvy, maybe. So yeah, that's just, I really wonder what the reason is going to turn out to be, but I just don't see his racism. Possibly the producer's lawsuit, not so much that he's sexist, but just like Bill O'Reilly, it just, because it's out in the open and he's being sued for it, is more the problem, that he is being sued. Not just Fox News, but Tucker personally, is my understanding. That makes much more sense than just, oh, he's sexist, he's racist. Yeah, we knew that. You just have to watch his show to know that. So, yeah, it's still, maybe someday we'll find out what the reason was, but I'm pretty sure it's the lawsuit against Fox News and Tucker by, I think her name is Abby Grossberg, one of the two. So with that, I will see you guys next time.